Netflix now, so they can't keep watching.
Hi everyone, just a quick mini episode just covering the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. I thought it would be a little bit of a difference on like a full podcast to give like a little mini segment, maybe 25, 30, 40 minutes, something like that. We'll go through, like I say, just our opinions, what we think of the event itself, you know, just a few of the range of topics, whether it should be happening or not really, and a lot of people reckon it's the biggest sporting event to happen in a while, but I don't know how. Like I've seen mixed reviews online about ticket sales, etc., but I think it's just more clickbait, to be honest with you. But yeah, just covering, like I say, a few little topics of the fight itself, the event, a few of the people fighting on the same card leading up to the main event, previous show, and yeah, just people's thoughts on it. People might agree, some people might not agree. It's a hot topic at the moment, so it gives people something to watch and say, well, you know, leading up to it, we'll see what the predictions are like, and two, how the fight goes, you know. But yeah, Jake.
Yeah, I think so. I'll start off with the undercard, to be honest with you, because the undercard being, what would you say, like overlooked a little bit. The core main, you've got the Serrano-Taylor rematch.
Taylor's my favourite to me.
Well, the first fight was an absolute banger as well. It was a split. Taylor won on a split, but it was a very close fight. And them two.
I missed the first one, you know.
Did you?
I missed that.
You've not seen it?
No.
I'd watch it. Like, it's a really good fight. I mean, Serrano and Taylor, you're looking at two of probably the best women in the world.
Just Taylor, like I say, mate. Just
Katie Taylor.
Katie.
Aye.
I thought it's which one's Jess Taylor? I'm sure there's someone else that we call Jess Taylor, but like an active sports person. I'm sure there is. Oh, sorry, Katie. One of my favourites getting her name wrong. Yeah, I know she's a classmate, but she's dead soft spoken, like, oh yeah, she's proper sound. She's such a lovely lass, know what I mean?
She's like the opposite of McGregor, innit? It's like the two sides of the Irish people.
That's what I'm saying. She's flying the well. She still does, mate. Like, she went through a tough time as well. Like, she did go through a tough time. Katie, obviously, there's a documentary on her. She went, like, I think she had like some like domestic abuse and stuff at home.
Oh right, okay.
And then she came through, like, obviously training up, but I think he was like part of, like, I forget what relation it was to her now, but he kept that training for like a while. But it was kind of like the reason she kept on training, but then she had this like love-hate relationship with him over time. Okay. I think she stopped talking to him over time. Might have been a stepdad or a dad, you know.
Right.
I'm not sure which one it was, but she's absolutely class. Katie, so she's meant. She's absolutely sound.
And she'd probably whip his ass now, like. She'd probably whip his ass now.
Aye. I mean, I'm surprised. Like, I'm not again degrading what the other lass has done, because obviously I don't know how good she is or how good she isn't, but I'm surprised she had a close fight with Katie, like, because Katie just normally smashes people to bits.
Serrano and her sister are both class. I mean, Serrano's had more experience than Katie Taylor as a pro. I think she's 42-2-1, because Taylor was her second loss. Her other loss was about 7 or 8 bouts in her career. But Serrano's like the top one really at like the featherweight. The only other who I'd say at the minute really coming close to her is a lass called Sky Nicholson, who's Australian. She's gorgeous as well, I will say, but she's very, very good, and I mean very skilled in terms of her fighting.
The blonde lass?
Nah, she's got like brown hair with like highlights. She's young. Right. She's only probably 25, 26, something like that, which is really, really good. She's fun to watch. She fought not long ago. I think it was like a couple of weeks back, something. One lad I fought from Australia, as I was knocking about with that, because he's in like the Australian setups and stuff. He's called Charlie Senior. Shout out to Charlie. He was a really good kid. Him smashed me a bit. Like,
did he?
He was probably the best guy I fought. Right. But he's just won a bronze in the Olympics.
Hasn't he?
Yeah. So
how old is he?
22, 23. He's like a year younger than me. But he was fighting our age group at the time. Really good. But yeah, bar her, I don't see anyone else apart from Katie Taylor touching Serrano. Serrano's sister's really good as well.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised because Katie just runs through them like a bug. She's had like a few decent bouts, but like she's always showed a skill and a boxing like that boxing mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's really good.
I'm surprised in the last was. Eva and Katie didn't look like she was in a dip in the last fight then.
No, it was, to be honest with you.
It looked like Katie.
Yeah, it was a really good performance from both of them. They both looked pretty good in there, I'd say. I wouldn't say like it was down to a poor performance or anything. I think it was just a really good fight.
Right,
Yeah, it was very evenly matched.
I'll definitely be worth watching it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, I can't really comment too much on the on that one because I've not seen the first fight. Obviously, I'm always going to be biased towards Katie because I'm a big fan of Katie Taylor. I think, like I said, she's one of the best women boxers to live. There was a woman before her back in the, I forget her name. Nobody Katie's name wrong, so I'm not going to get this other one. She was an older woman when she beat. She was like the main one in the women's boxing for years.
Oh.
You know what about?
There was the Netflix documentary about that and she went a bit mad. I know who you mean.
But then she went back, she was like boxing like years later.
Yeah, it was like a celebrity boxing thing.
Still really wow.
I think it's Christy something.
Yeah,
I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Christy's ringing a bell though. But there is a Netflix documentary about that.
We should have all this researched and written down, but then it wouldn't be as authentic.
Yeah, that's the thing. She ended up like stabbing her husband in the leg and that.
She
went mad,
She
went really mad.
Because they didn't know he could box as well.
He was a boxer as well too. And they used to.
Which is mad because like you look at like I'm sure on the documentary, I'm sure that Katie like looks up at her and there's a connection there because of the past. Obviously the similarities that are within the personal life.
It would make sense.
And as bad as it sounds, if you're used to fighting men, proper fighting them in the house and having full on scraps and when this was going out with like Cyborg when you say in the UFC. Like she was married to Cyborg. You know what I mean? So it's like you go through bare amount of sparring.
Probably sparring. You know what I'm saying? They'll be sat there sparring in the garage.
And then God knows what happens like up in the scratch yard. You know what I mean? They probably start off sparring and then it leads to something else. You know what I'm saying?
They're mad, wouldn't it?
Watching two bulldogs go at it. See when Dana was on it with Cyborg when she goes, looks like Vanderlei with a wig. And he gets up
and the awards.
They're all laughing, and then he gets up and starts pretending to be her.
He hated her.
And then he brought her back, and then she's done that proper dick's trick. Where she was like, "Oh, you this and that," and then he was like, "Oh, you're gonna do that." There you go. It's mad.
As soon as that Nunes bout was like, right, I've got a reason now.
I mean that Nunes bout was if you've not seen Amanda Nunes versus so even Diaz fell over. That's what it was. If you've not seen Amanda Nunes versus Cyborg, watch that shit, like, because it's unbelievable. Like,
two of the best.
It's one of the most exciting fights.
Probably the two best women fighters ever.
It's rare that I'm like, what in the house? You know what I mean? Like, I'm always the one, like, when I was younger, like, even younger than you, having the lads around the house. And like, so it went from like 15 of the lads every weekend, you know what I'm saying, to like 4 and 2, and then it was the same 2 and 3 lads, and obviously Richie, he was always coming over and stuff. Shout out Richie if you're watching, and like, he'd come over and I'd be at his, and we'd always watch him, but it died down a bit, but like, me and even Richie were never the ones to be like, jumping about. Was like, I remember like sitting there, like, everyone jumping about, and I'm like watching, like, I don't know why, just like, it's just, nothing wrong with it, I just never want to jump up and be like, But that was one of the few fights where I was like, what the fuck, holy shit, you know what I mean? Because like, it was, the whole card was mental. If I remember, like, the whole card was amazing. Like, it was just, I forget what card it was. It was UFC 300 or something, UFC.
It was just before that, I think. Was it?
It wasn't UFC 300, man.
It was 290 something.
It was a mint.
It was one of the 290s.
But it was one of them few cards where like you expect it to be amazing. It was better than you expected. You know what I'm saying? Like,
normally it's a disappointment when it's like that, because it'll be like two bangers that are evenly matched, and then because they're evenly matched, the fight's boring, you know.
Yeah, it's like Usman and like Colby 2. The first one was on. The first one lived up there.
Because they were just scrapping it out, really.
It was like the first fight on Masvidal and Usman was better than the second one. It was obviously more technical for Usman, but I locked him out, didn't he? But the first fight was class with Masvidal and Usman.
But yeah, toe stomping, when he toe stomping against the cage.
That wrecked people. The people that remember some of the lads used to be like, what's he doing? I thought like, lad, there's
canny bit of weight as well.
I mean, even they like some little competitive motions and let me stamp on your foot, you know what I mean? It will knack. It's at the top of your foot, you know what I mean? It's like, hurts like, but I think when you see people take the first leg kick, you can just see in the eyes, it's just like,
that's not nice.
different than that. But like I say, I think back to the boxing event, it was good. Like I say, the last show that they put on, the Tyson Paul, I was mentioning on the last podcast, that was pretty like, yes, the fights were quick, but it proved for quite exciting fights. I thought now the little 2 minute, the little was like 8-2s. Quick. Sometimes there's like a little, now the rounds just started, but I think that's more or less. I think that's more of what you're used to watching in boxing rounds. So I'm saying it did keep it exciting.
it
But
takes out
and it
that
favours
feeling
cardio
of
as
process
well.
a little bit, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I mean, if you said Mike Tyson 3-minute rounds, like particularly because he's 58 now, as much as he looks like an animal in his training videos and that, I think he's probably got 2 good minutes in him. Then maybe he's another 2, and I think that's probably it after. So I reckon I reckon if it was 3-minute rounds, I think after the first round it would be a waste of time.
Well, I seen a highlight where Jake had said, let's make it 10 threes.
Yeah.
In Tyson was like, be careful. It's like, I think that would be bad for you. Like, and it's going to be controversial to say, but like, watching the videos of him, like, he does look fucking incredible. For I don't think there's many boxers, past or present, at 58 look like he does.
Not him. Nah, not a chance.
Fury. I think Tyson, I just don't think anyone looked like that at 58. I think he's,
no chance.
You look at him in his youth, Tyson, and he wasn't the best. Well, he was one of the best boxers ever, but like I've had this disagreement with a few people where I think he was one of the most technical boxers to ever live. But then people compare him to like Ali, and you know, you've got like Foreman obviously with a different style, and then you had like, you know, Frazier with the way that he'd cover up and things like that and move forward. But like, yeah, he was wild, Tyson. Like, he was like a big hook and looping thing, but like, you see his Philly shell style, the way that he can pivot and things. I think it was a science.
It was a completely different style to even what he taught, because he would square up.
Yeah, and even when you watch the other lads,
boom from either side, you know, that's why he would knock you out.
Yeah,
so,
and he'd done it in the Roy Jones. He goes to like over and then like flips, he stands quick. But it was like a shell of what you like. Anyone that's watched, when he was 54 when he fought Roy Jones.
Yeah.
And it was like, you seen a few little paint splashes of what it was from both of them. But like, at the same time, I just think like, it sounds controversial, but watching even the footage the last few weeks, like there's just done a footage of him, he looks fucking incredible. There's one bit on the back where it's like a jab cross hook and then a body hook, and then he does like a 3-hook combo after it, and it's like, it looks really sharp in that.
Yeah.
And it does, but like, it looked to me like a 58-year-old man type training. It did. Like, you can see the way he's training. Like, I don't know, like, obviously he has strength and conditioning and things, and obviously you're seeing little snippets, but like, he was like around the weights at one point, and he's like looking at the weights, and then he had all these wires sticking out of him, this top stuff, and then he goes on, and it's 2 little 10-kilo dumbbells. Like,
but you know what that does, that machine? So you know at the top, it basically pushes the contraction, so that's the same as like, it's 10 kilo up to there, and then it's like 30 at the top.
Is that what it's doing?
Yeah. So it adds, it shocks the muscle to contract.
Well, then he's very well. Then he's ultimately strong, because it was still making it look like 10 kilos. But it was like these, the weight that it didn't look like he was going to like. It didn't look like he wasn't. It didn't look like he could go to the stage where you get him collapsing on the floor and he's pattering. It just completely fatigued the fuck. Because I just think obviously Dungar's run, the training camp would have been sectioned up that way for him to get him to peak at this point.
They've already delayed it because of it. Because of his health, you know.
Yeah. So at the same time, I just like to see he's 58. Looking at him at the clips, he did look amazing, and he's aesthetically, he's an amazing nick. But I just think like, again, it looks like a shell of what it was, and you can see like there was like clips of him sparring with that bloke, and it might have put it out there purposely, but like, I just didn't say anything, and I didn't think that's something that Jake, if he just throws one of them big stupid punches and lands it, he could still hurt him. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think the thing is with Mike Tyson, because his style is so different, and because he was built around him and the explosivity and the speed that he could move for his weight, that he's never going to be able to box not like that. But because now he hasn't got the speed, the explosivity that he had on the basis of his age, it's going to look like a much worse version of how he used to fight. That's what it's going to look like.
I think it's going to look. I'll be surprised if it looks better than he did against Roy.
See, even against Roy though, like you looked at it and you could see he was moving in the same way that he used to move in terms of the actual movement he was doing.
Yeah, it's a brilliant fight to watch.
But it was so slow, and even Roy Jones, like,
it looked like a 54-year-old man fighting in that. It looked like your 2 uncles fighting at a barbecue.
Very skilled uncles, didn't get us wrong.
Yeah, like, who used to be great.
Now
very, very good still for their age. It's like, you couldn't, after watching that Roy Jones fight, you couldn't put like Tyson now against any of the active
you wouldn't give him a 20-odd-year-old.
But you wouldn't even say even like someone like Tyson Fury or Usyk and that, it would be a massacre, and it's like, what a shame. And like I said, there's a part of us hoping in that main event, and I don't think it will happen, but I'm praying it does, that he that Jake is clearly more fit, and he's not in any, obviously always a threat to Mike Tyson, but he's not like getting like beat about the ring and stuff, and he's like obviously taking the risk. But it would be nice to see him like take Tyson a full 8 rounds, and then he would earn your respect, and then I'd be like, you know what, you've got in there with someone that was trying to take your head off with the utmost intensity. He's going to try to kill you.
Yeah,
he's going to try and kill him.
I will.
And that might either play into Jake. If he does it that way, then he is one of the best promoters and best like social media experts of all time. Because then if he does that, I think he'd change a lot of people's heads.
Yeah, yeah.
For him to take a risk and be like, look, you've went in there, and for him to blatantly carry him.
Yeah, yeah.
Then it'll be like, I think it's like a gentleman thing to do as well.
I'd say so, because he does have a lot of respect for Mike Tyson as well.
Yeah.
They've done,
and I think it would shock a lot of people.
Sorts, you know?
And like I started like turning my head a little bit towards him and thinking, he's like a young kid and he's giving me his due whether I like him or not. You've got to respect his hustle. He's one of the best at it, and the amount of money he's made. I've not made anywhere near that much money, so I don't know say much about it. But exactly, it's like, so like I don't like with a lot of the stuff he comes out with, but then at the same time sometimes he surprises you. With sometimes, and it's like, well, is that again fake shit? But then if he does carry, you know, Mr. Tyson, everyone is like your big uncle and everyone. Although he's got a sketchy past, it's like everyone's got certain things that they don't want people to know about them, and everyone's got this, that, and the other, and it's like at the same time Mike Tyson's had everything exposed, so like everyone knows his dirty
he's lived in the limelight,
of course, but it's like he's changed over God knows how many years now, a completely different person.
Oh, he is a different person.
And it's like, if to do that, to carry him and to let him go out there, because I think if he would know, he would know that he's been carried. And then it would be like, oh, I'm not going to do that again. He shouldn't do anything again. Whereas if he goes in and fucking knocks him clean out, or TKOs, like you can imagine them like catching Tyson with an overhand right, and drops his arms, and then you say boom, big uppercut, and like Tyson's head's boom, and it just falls into the corner, and it's like,
it wouldn't be nice to see, but I've got a distinct feeling that.
That's what I'm gonna watch it.
Case, you know.
But then you're gonna stay off social media for a month. It's gonna be every single thing.
And the thing is as well.
And then if you talk shit afterwards, like, oh, well, look what I done to Daddy Tyson, or what I done to Tyson. I don't think he will at the time. I think he'll be like, oh, this Saturday, I don't think he will. He'll be gracious in victory, but it's like, I don't know. Like, I think and he's got to be very. You have to be careful regardless. Because there will be people that will want to fuck his life up.
100%. I mean, as you see, if he did kind of carry him through and made it more of an exhibition, but then it was an exhibition. They've pushed extremely hard for professional sanctioning. But it's under like a different rule set, your normal rule set. So it's 8-2s. They're wearing 14-ounce gloves.
Are they?
No head guards now, you know. But, I mean, you can still hurt someone regardless of an extra 4 ounce pad in your guts and that. And they both have to weigh in at 230. So they can't be any more than 230 pounds at the weight.
Because Jake would have been bigger than that.
He'll be cutting down, because he blew up a bit.
He's massive. And people underestimate the size of him, like he's a big boy, do you know what I mean, Jake?
He's on gear now.
100%.
He's
100%. His skin's poxy, you can see it.
And the weight he's put on for the like, it's all lean, you know, like it's lean, and he'll look like slightly bloated at points, and then he'll be lean. And you just think
he'll be on the best of the best stuff.
The
best stuff to him.
That's the thing. Like, people underestimate because he's been boxing for a short length of time.
Tyson has been on TRT or something for this.
He would have been on TRT for the last probably 20 years.
But he's
just as a health thing more than anything else.
He'd have peaked it though recently. Do you know what I'm saying? But,
he looks like an animal.
He does. It would be, don't get us wrong, it would be great to see Tyson go in and give a little, 16 minutes of what we used to see in the, like, well, before even I was born in the 80s, and then the early, when he went 94, I think he got out of prison. Was it 94, 92? I think it was 94 he got out of prison. But, like, when you see him coming out, like, and he was never Tyson again. It was like Ali before he went to prison. Do you know what I mean? Ali was just shell of himself.
It was when Cuss went, you know.
Exactly.
That was pretty much it.
Like, he looked the best he ever looked when he came out of prison. But that was just because he'd been lifting weights in prison.
He was best when he was like 20, 21, which is insane. That's mental to think, isn't it?
It's mental,
because that's never.
Like when he went and got what was it? Who got Ali, and then he was like, I'll get him back.
I
forget who that was, but then he got two of them, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I just think like it would be great to go out and see like this shaved head version of like 50 of wow, look what he can do. But I just cannot see it happening. Like, I really cannot see it happening. I hope my heart says Tyson, but my head says Jake. Like, and I really hope that if Tyson proves us wrong and does catch him with something. But I do think it would only be that as well. I mean, I'll put my money where my mouth is and say now I don't think Tyson's going to go out there and give this like stellar, incredible skilled performance.
Nah.
I think he might have little flashes of it, but I think his cardio will be a massive issue. The muscle he's packed on as well is going to be an issue for him going that distance. And I think if he does knock Jake out, it'll be off like some inside shot, like everyone's got his purpose, but it'll be off some like bang, 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 and then the breaking up and bang. It'll be one of them, won't it? Or like he's like done the jab cross and it's caught Jake on the back of the head and Jake takes it. Something like that. Like, or I could be wrong. He could splatter him and knock him clean out. You know what I mean?
One thing I would say is if you look at pretty much all of Jake Paul's opponents previously, like yes, you've had MMA fighters, you've had Tommy Fury, a few boxers, this, that, and the other. None of them really have been like a inside brawler type fighter. And obviously you would have prepared for it, like your sparring will be kind of catered for it. But at the same time, like he's not actually faced anyone who's going to fight in the way that Mike Tyson is. And there's no one there, like Tommy Fury will jab, right hand. He's not there with every punch trying to take your head off. Woodley, you could say in the UFC at one point was like that, but he wasn't when he fought Jake Paul.
And he was tiny compared to Jake Paul.
You've got Anderson Silva, who's just, again, he was trying to box.
How old was Silva when he fought him?
43, 44.
Was he?
Aye.
And even that's old.
Yeah.
For fighting terms. Fighting terms, it's old. It's not old in life.
No.
But it's old in fighting terms.
It's well old. I mean,
you know what I mean?
One thing that got me about the whole thing was Eddie Hearn was asked if he was going to watch it. He said, "To be honest with you, I understand the spectacle, but it's not for me." And he said, "Mike Tyson, you've got a fighter who retired 20 years ago, and he was shot then.
Yeah, he was done then.
20 years on, you should never be
Me
fighting."
and Joe, Coach Joe, shout out Joe, were watching him when he fought that big Irishman and that. We used to get him to like, we used to ask my mum to order the pay-per-views, what, £15 about then? Right, 15 quid. Every man would like order the pay-per-views for him. And like, what was that big Irish money fought man? Who beat him? He beat Tyson.
It was like in the noughties, wasn't it? In like the noughties.
He was like, it was early 2000, was it?
Yeah.
It was, I forget his name, this big brown haired Irishman. And he just like Tyson sat down on the ropes and all that, and he just looked like he was like done, and that's like, I'm done in the centre. So you watch it, and then you had Dingy who beat him. What's he called? The African bloke man. He was not British, sorry, British. He was out wearing blue. He got Tyson, he beat him, because they were calling him the Tyson stopper.
Right.
And it was like, mate, he was finished. But this was like 5 years maybe before he even fought the Irishman. But like he's saying, he was absolutely done. Like he was, mate, like Bruno was probably like was some of his last better performances.
And Frank Bruno was a baby elephant. Couldn't box.
No, he was just like,
he was just hyped up because he was British.
And it was like, but like the Sphinx days and all that. It was before he went to prison. So all that was done. Like, and it's a very good point. He was shot before he was done, and now 20 years on, he's trying to do it again. But it showed that in the Roy Jones fight.
Larry Holmes, that's the one that beat Ali that you got after.
Holmes. Larry Holmes.
Holmes. That was bugging me until that.
Holmes took some bombs off him.
You
could tell he was known to take a punch.
He was getting towards the end of his career as well at that point, though, Holmes. He was tail end anyway.
Both of them were that he got. Spinks as well. But like I say, mate, I just think it'd be a big shock that if Tyson goes in and does anything like he used to. I think it's going to be the case that there's a 58-year-old man versus a 26 or 27-year-old. How old is he?
I think they're 26.
So it's like, and he's a big boy, and I mean, training, fast, fit. It'll be great. I see why Tyson does it when he says, I want to test myself on that, but it's like...
You know why else he's doing it as well? You know how much he's getting paid?
How much?
They reckon between 8 and 12 mil.
Christ.
And then obviously he'll have sponsorships on top, whatever else.
Probably, I'm not being thingy, probably isn't a massive, I mean it is, but it's probably not life-changing like Mike Tyson. Like,
no, he's got enough money with his businesses and everything else, you know, but I mean it's a nice pay that, you know.
Taxes on it and all.
Imagine,
so he'll be coming out with about, what, 7? Yeah,
maybe
8 mil, I mean, if he gets 12.
Decent pay, though.
100%.
I mean, I think people as well, a lot of people are focusing very much on what Tyson's not going to be able to do, rather than what Jake Paul's actually doing at the minute. And as much as he's not a world beater,
he's a fast, explosive lad.
He's very explosive, he can crack.
And
he's getting better every fight as well.
It's not like you go into a gym and say that every day.
No, it's not.
Everyone's got a highlight. People might see, oh, he's boxing bums and all that, and this, that, he's gifted it, and people are getting, not everyone, I'll tell you what, there's very few that I've seen. They're all out there, and there's people definitely in the gyms and that. They've got highlights of that many times in sport, dropping people like that.
No, it's not particularly normal.
It's not, no.
It's
so whether
he does have that cracking right now.
Then you see him in the fight. Tell you what does me head though, when people say it, probably it irritates you just as much. when they're going, do you think it was fixed?
Aye.
Like, if
No.
you think it was fixed, right, that should prove to you, one, you know nothing about boxing or things like that, I've said, not boxing, you know nothing about how these events get put on.
Yeah.
No one is going to take, like, people, honestly, mate, I had someone come up with this, right, and you'll probably know who you are if you're watching this, right, and I hope you feel a bit silly. He said, oh, mate, do you not think the Woodley fight was staged?
Did you see the crack he took?
Did you think
you don't take that crack for
the punch wasn't real? It's the same person that said that the Ngannou punch off AJ wasn't real.
Aye.
Do you think that was fake?
Yeah.
So this is a person that thought when Anthony Joshua knocked out Ngannou, the last knockout as well, not the two first ones.
Shot.
You said, do you think it didn't look like it landed?
You couldn't pay me to take that shot. You couldn't pay me enough.
And the Woodley, I do not think the Woodley, if you think that Woodley didn't get hit, I'll actually go out on a limb and say, yeah, you don't know anything about boxing, you don't know anything about anything.
Nah.
If you just watch Jake Paul knock out Tyrone Woodley and think that's fake, don't watch any more combat sport, like, because you may as well watch wrestling.
It's a blatant crack.
Because it's all fake, and at least wrestling you can watch a bit of a storyline. Do you know what I'm saying?
That one knocked out with the year, like, you know.
I'm not surprised, mate.
I
mean, he knocked every bit of sweat off the bloke's
Yeah,
head.
it was
Do you know what I mean? It was like kicking a football in the rain.
It's bad, wasn't it?
Do you know what I'm saying? It was like, it's not. It just winds up when they say it's fake. So that's what I'm saying. Like, people, if he catches Jake, they're like, oh, you probably paid him to go down. Or if he catches Mike, and don't say it's fake because it isn't fake. Like,
you can't set stuff up and make it look like that. It's not humanly possible to
it's not wrestling.
Make it look like that.
It's not wrestling. It's not jiu-jitsu. Well, I'm not saying you can thingy, but like jiu-jitsu, yeah, you could make something to the untrained eye. Even to the trained eye, you could even look, oh, well, I didn't turn in right, or I didn't whatever. This
accidentally ruled into this.
Yeah, I've accidentally. You can't do that with a knockout.
Nah.
You know what I mean? I guarantee you now, no one in jiu-jitsu is going to smash someone's arm or someone's leg and go, oh, it was fake. Yeah, you could say it was maybe fake that he gave his back in, because a lot of people, you'll say it like even at a high level, and I didn't actually notice it until one of like the top lads who I've trained with had said it, and they were like, a lot of even the top athletes will give up. They say it when they said it.
It's easier. It's the lesser of two evils. It's that or get knocked out. You can't.
There's no way like at the top level.
You have to go to sleep. You know?
Yeah, there's like no way at the top level that'll do that. And then he mentioned it, and I started saying it. A lot of them were getting ground and pounded to the back.
How many people have done that with Habib? Pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
He's got a hell of a lot of submissions because he's been smashing your face and
yeah. And then
you just gone, oh, he has me neck.
Pick your poison. It's less two evils.
It's less, don't it?
100%. And it's rather get put to sleep than knocked out.
Yeah. Or you don't even have to. You can chat. No?
Yeah.
Oh, how that choking.
Yeah. It's one thing getting dropped elbows on your heat rather than someone wrapping around the neck, isn't it?
One thing I will say as well in regards to the actual event itself, with being on Netflix, it's very accessible, and I reckon it's gonna probably be like have like one of the highest viewerships of all time.
Was a billion not put out there? I'm sure there was a billion.
They'd be lucky, I think, to reach that number. Particularly, they're not going to get that live. They might do in replays and stuff. But I think just because it's so...
I've definitely seen a billion hide around for something.
I'm sure it's coming as part of your Netflix package as well, so if you're on the 5 or 10 or a month or whatever, I'm
going to pay for it.
It's not like a box office type thing either.
The 15th of November, it's going to be on there. We should be getting paid to promote it, shouldn't we?
Aye. This promotion's been insane as well. Did you see the two massive, I think it was 25-foot balloons of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson in New York City? Unreal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like Tyson Fury's fighting AJ.
Yeah.
Something that's like getting built up that
big.
And it's or like Conor McGregor fighting Floyd again. It's like, it would be like, I would expect this kind of hype if like, you know, you had. If Khabib had a event, because Khabib had mentioned boxing Canelo back in the day, which would have been an absolute massacre. But like if something like that had happened, do you know what I'm saying? Like a crossover if like McGregor had by some miracle caught Floyd. And now it's McGregor versus Canelo in a boxing fight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be
which would have been mental, that imagine Canelo and Conor in a boxing fight. But I just think, like I say, I think that Jake's he's gonna show his youth. With the most respect, like I think he'll show his youth.
If you had to put like out an official sort of prediction, what would you say? Because I'd go Jake Paul stoppage round 5.
Well, I'd say it's like me pride stopping and seeing what you're saying, basically. But it's like,
well, I don't want to see Mike Tyson get beat, but I'm clever. So I know that someone half. If you're fighting someone half your age, you're gonna win if you're 20.
Most of the stuff field, it's gets kind of like most of the stuff he'll come out with on his predictions, you get bang on, like. But I hope Tyson catches him. I don't want to. I'd never like put anyone to watch them get hurt. I don't want to say anyone get hurt, but it's like it's the first time that if Jake does knock Tyson out badly, I would love to see him get hurt afterwards of someone. But I don't want to say that like Jake or him get like you know what I mean, like. It would
be nice to see Mike Tyson walk out, you know, like if he could walk out on himself and he's.
I'll tell you what would be nice to see Tyson get like a TKO stoppage, someone like would catch him with a body shot and like. And then like do him a little bit, you know what I mean? That would be good to see. But my personal prediction would be a one Tyson knock, but I'd probably say Jake by stop. Either Jake by points or stoppage.
I swear Lennox Lewis as well. They turned to Lennox Lewis and asked him about it. They said, "What do you think?" He says, "Oh, I think it's great that Mike's getting back in there, man." And he goes, "Oh, you're not worried about his health?" He goes, "Oh, not at all." Mike Tyson was out to defend himself. He's been defending himself for a long time, and he's in there with someone far less experienced. So it was like a different perspective on it. And there's a couple of people said the same thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just think like it's like they say father type catch up everyone. He's a grandfather now. It's grandfather type, you know. It's different, man.
It's very powerful what you just said there, because Lennox Lewis is bang on with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, and that would be the factor that wins him if he does. But that point you just made.
It's having the cardio to be able to keep up that
That's
defense.
the thing. It's like, has he got the gas tank for that? And I honestly, like, watching the training, and they might have purposely done it that way, so you think, oh, he's tired. But I honestly don't think. I think you might get 3 or 4 decent rounds out of him, and I don't think the 4th round will look at the same as the 2nd.
Yeah, no.
If he's still there, and then come the 5th and 6th and 7th, I think he's going to look slow in the 6th.
I think that's the sort of range he's going to get stopped at if he's there.
And that could be where he gets hurt.
I think so.
If it's not in the first couple of rounds, because they might just meet in the middle and just go for it. But it's like, I hope that doesn't. I honestly think they should meet in the middle a little bit. If they're going to, Jake should feel it and be like, okay, nice one, I know I'm going to get him, or I know I can definitely put it out anyway. But and then just, you've done it before, people who's, you know what I mean, like, I've been in there sparring, now sparring's very different, but I've been in there sparring with people before, and you can tell, like, the older now, like 47, 48s, 52s, and you're like, fair enough, like, you can see that, like, they try and do things that probably at one point could do, and you're like, fair enough, and then I'm not going to take a liberty and, there's no opening there. Because what doesn't go is the strength I found that gets more.
Oh, they say that the power's the last thing to go, don't
they? Well, I can feel that again. I'm strong. I'm not naturally a weak lad. I've never been strong, but I'm stronger now than I definitely was in any of my 20s. Even when I was like lifting weights, I'm stronger now than I was then. But it's like, and you can feel like that's like old man strength. Getting a bit older and it's like they get it, and like even like your granddad's as strong as anything. So it's like, but what does go, and I've seen it millions of times, is the reaction time. Even when I'm standing in front of it, you'll see people pop the jab, and like in the youth it might be like bump on the way with the head movement, where it's like it's laboured, and it's there, and it's like them split seconds you lose, and that's the split seconds that count.
Or if you throw it at them, you can tell at one point just or just parry it away, and now it's like, oh, and they've already missed it. Or there might be like a 3. I was saying that little bad habit you had when you first started boxing. Like you said, done it for like a while. You've been out of it for a while, but then when you start, not boxing but sparring, when you start sparring with people, you could see you've got like your 5 movement little twitches, but then when you were in there, you were doing 1 or 2. And I was like, Jake followed up, and because you were getting hit with the 3rd, but then it took a few rounds, a week or so of sparring, and then all of a sudden you're back to your movement again. But it's like you can tell like that goes. At a later age, where like you wouldn't have considered you when you were like 52, Jake, pick it up. You'd be like, Mom, this is what I've got. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like my body's not reacting. It's like being fatigued. Now when you're fatigued and you start getting hit, it's like that's what it reminds us of. Like when they get older, like Tyson the other day, he looked fatigued in all of the clips. Like he had a really good round while he was fatigued. Do you know what I mean? That's what it looked like. And it's like you watch Jake, as sloppy as Jake looks compared to even Tyson now. He's but if you would just think, would you feel safer going to fight Mike Tyson on Saturday or Jake Paul? Probably Mike Tyson.
That's the only.
If anything else, I might get cracked still in that.
Absolutely. I'm not going to get beat.
But I'd run away.
But I reckon I can move out of that. I could do like Roy Jones, where I can keep away from it.
I'd be on my bike, you know.
100%. And I'd have.
Then I might jab him for a joke.
Bad heat at slow sides getting knocked out. This is if me and him weighed another maybe 10-15 kilos. Because if you hit me once, we snap one off.
Probably double me weight now.
But I would feel more safe. Whereas with Jake Paul, it would be like.
think you were looking to reach as well. I think Jake can
Now
now.
you would fucking seriously not kick clean out. You know what I mean? Like,
He can cover the distance a lot better than Mike can now. Mike used to be able to come in so quick.
And it's not because he's more skilled. I
man.
don't think he's more of a skilled boxer than either of me and you, and by any means, or definitely not even close to the realm of Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
But it's not that. Like, I've sparred with like and fought lads who aren't as good as me, but they've had the round. They've definitely had the round.
There's tangibles. Like, no offense to Ben in the gym.
Yeah.
Ben's not been training very long. He's not particularly skilled, but he's long as shite.
He's
so long.
He can jab you
touch
like
it from
4
here to
foot
the camera,
away.
you know.
Yeah.
It's hard to gauge.
He jabbed me in the windpipe running first. He only been training for like 3 months. And he just pumped us up, and he caught us in the windpipe at the side, and I've like went into it. I was spitting blood for 2 days. I remember I was swallowing. It was like I was this like it was jumping.
It
was like obviously he hadn't, but it was like he dislodged like my voice box or something. It was mad, like my gullet. And it's like he didn't, and like you can just know like if shit ever hit the fan with that size human being, you'd have to try and like single leg him and quickly get on his neck quick, because it would fuck you up like. And it's like Jake Paul, he would fuck you clean up if he hit you. He doesn't have to have the skill, and he's got it the endless over, and he knows the little fundamentals.
And his right hand's getting sharper and sharper.
And I think that's what I'm saying.
It's starting to become less looping and more.
Yeah. And the point I'm making here is, I think that's enough to beat Tyson.
Yeah, it is at this point.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, and I didn't like saying that at all, but I do think that's enough.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. I think that's probably how it's going to go.
But I think, like I say, I think when it comes down to it, I think Jake will have the edge, and I just think I hope that he sees how tired Tyson is, and then I hope he carries him, and then I hope they'll have a decent performance, and Tyson says, yeah, okay, I'll hand you hat up for good because I've just been carried for 6 rounds.
It'll be nice to see.
Do you know what I mean? Even if I wouldn't even mind it if he like half-caught Tyson with a shot, with a body shot, and Tyson took a knee and had an 8 count. Or like being stopped, like being covered up too much, and it's been an 8 count, and then Jake's like, right, I'll take your foot off the pedal. Do you know what I mean?
He might do, because
I don't expect Jake to go in there and get his head taken off.
Get
him back, you know what I mean? Like, absolutely, like, make him respect you.
Them first couple rounds, Mike Tyson is going to try to take his head off.
But it doesn't matter how hard Jake hits him back, Tyson's going to keep on coming at him. So then, like, let him at least blow his energy out, let him blow his load, and then just like dance around doing Roy Jones and like let him have his time in there, because no one to see Tyson going in, especially after this much of a build-up, to see in a round or 50 seconds of Tyson trying to move around and just get it smashed. No one to say that. If anything, you want to go back and say, oh well, Tyson fought when he's 50, because he'll be 70 in 12 years. Do you know what I'm saying? Looking at it like that, I think that's a long way away, but he'll be 70, so then he's not even going to be, you never know, but he's never going to be fighting at that stage. But then you can look back and go, oh, well, there's nice little 8 rounds of Mike Tyson putting a little bit of a display on. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I guarantee people will have a completely different look at Jake Paul, because it's like, well, that's something that anyone as a boxer or a martial artist would love to be able to do. Like, go on there and share that experience.
With Mike Tyson, it'd be nice, It could be nice.
As an exhibition.
Nice like that.
It could be nice. You want to go and then piss him off.
I'll tell you what as well, on the other hand as well, you've got Mike Tyson, and a lot of people seen it's like quite inspiring, the shape he's in and that. I saw an interview with Vlad Klitschko, and he turned around and he said, like, I feel like I've been lessening my training at the minute, and he said, seeing what the shape that Mike's managed to get himself into and that, I feel like I can just keep punching.
He's got that mindset. I remember when I was younger, I heard Mike Tyson say this thing, and always stuck with us my whole life. That's like one of my heroes, because he always said, like, if I wanted to be, everyone says like, I'm the best boxer that ever lived. This is like when he was like in his 20s. And he says, but if that's just because of the path that I went down, he says, if I wanted to be a doctor, I'd have been a really successful doctor. Anyone can do anything if you apply yourself. And someone disagreed with us when I was younger, and no, that like one of my uncles had said, no, you couldn't have been a good doctor, Mike Tyson. Like, are you mad? Like, he's a boxer. And even then I disagreed. I was thinking, no, like, I understand the premise of what it means. Like, he's applied himself to a certain craft.
He's about his mindset more than anything else.
So it's like, it's not surprising that he's gotten this shit to me, because it's his mindset. And it's you see like the way that he went in there against Roy Jones. Roy Jones Jr. is one of my favourite boxers of all time.
I personally think Roy Jones is the best boxer of all time.
Mate, I used to try and copy him. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, Amir Khan, I'm Amir Khan, so Prince Nazim got a lot of his stuff off him. When you watch it. I mean, he didn't even admit it. Like, he said, Roy Jones done this and that. But like, Roy Jones would still outbox us for like, in likes of all of your like local decent lads.
100%.
So if I go in there and still look really, really because he won that fight, Tyson.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
And he did look far superior, and it didn't surprise us because what just was a shame, like you said, the movement was delayed.
Yeah, yeah.
There was certain times where he was like this, and he'd get hit, and he'd be like, the way he used to. Roy was over there, which he was skilled enough to do. But it was very much like Tyson looked very open, like shelled up compared to what he, that meat. If you're watching a Mike Tyson fight and then you pause it as he's throwing a punch, it looks like two dogs. When two dogs are fighting, the eyes are turned and they look like evil. They look like that, you know what I mean? And then they looked aggressive, whereas that had gone.
Yeah, yeah. And
but like it's still
4 years on now,
and it's 4 years on now, but it still showed his dedication to how he did look a different level to Roy Jones in that fight. I mean, I know Roy Jones said afterwards when he hit him and hurt, and he was running away and clinching, he didn't want to hurt him because he was scared of getting hit back. They said at one point, why didn't you uppercut? And he said, because he might uppercut his back. Like, he was holding on to the ref at one, he was holding on to him at one point, the same with 2 overhooks. And the ref said, get off, and he's like, nah. He's like, I'm not letting go of him, do you know what I mean? Like, he's going to kill us. So I think like his power must be very deceptive. I think people expect him to hit hard, but then they get in and go, shit.
That's hard.
And hopefully, like I said, that might be a little factor that he shocks Jake.
He might do, because
the power.
He's not been in there with anyone who could hit as hard, I'd say.
But definitely
but it's the delivery system. It's not the power.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate Diaz does not want to stand up.
I think he's getting nervous for the fighting.
Well, he fought Jake Paul, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what kept happening. That's what happened when he fought Jake Paul, you know what I mean?
I know.
But again, like little things like the fact that like I don't know. The fact that he didn't knock Nate out, and he could have knocked Nate out. The fact that he didn't knock, I mean, he dropped Anderson Silva.
Yeah, yeah.
There is a certain level of skill to them compared to the other ones he didn't. Tommy Fury.
Because they don't be decent boxing, you know.
So maybe that will catch. Maybe that will take Tyson through it. Do you know what I mean? Potentially, but it's like we'll see. Like I say, I just think that I think it should be if it's a show like last time, it should be a pretty entertaining show.
It's worth a watch for definite.
Aye, but it's like I think even as the viewer, I think like you need to ask yourself that question: do you want to watch potentially, one of the greatest of all time getting seriously hurt?
Yeah, it's coming.
But a lot of people don't like Tyson, mate. A lot of people. We're speaking from a fan point of view, from two kind of biased point of views, really, me and you, because we love him. Whereas a lot of people don't like Mike Tyson. That's something, he had all these charges when he was younger, and in my opinion, like I said before, everyone changes. That never changes in sports, but everyone grows and gets wiser. Yeah. Definitely a leopard also wouldn't jump, a leopard makes a lot of mistakes when it's younger, and it survives because it learns not to make the same mistakes. So it's like, they might not change the spots, but you get wiser as you get older. And I think what he's done since with his life and things, and the way that like he handles himself now and how open he is and how I think he's impacted a lot of people's lives, that kind of overlooks it for me.
I'd say so, yeah.
And
to a level anyways.
I'm not like justifying what he's allegedly done. And it seems to piss him off when people bring certain charges up about like allegations that he didn't get proved guilty for. Like there's footage of him making interviews look stupid.
With a reporter, you're a rat piece of shit.
I think it's interesting you asked me that.
Yeah.
They go, hey, listen, I think it's... and he starts just ripping, he goes, come on, mate, you're not stopping. What I still say about him, mate, even though, like, you've got, like, Ngannou's of the world and John Jones of the world and all these, like, MMA top athletes that would beat him in a street fight. He's still an alpha maroon.
He's the original BMF, and
it's like this head lion walks in, it's like still got this dead thick mane, and all the other lions who know that could probably tear his fucking shit up. Still like
you respect them,
bow a little bit.
It's cross generational as well. I mean, like my dad had Mike Tyson.
A lot of them wouldn't be where they are because of him.
Yeah.
I mean, so like for me, but yeah, a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people will want to see him getting fucked up or like not clean out off Jake. And
I've seen the same about Jake for
100%.
Like him.
Yeah, I'll definitely dislike Jake more than I like him. Do you know what I mean? And that's not me sitting on the fence. If you want to ask us, I'd be cordial with anyone, but it's like, would he be someone that I'd want to be around all the time? No.
I think a lot of people, it's an act. I think that's a hell of a lot.
I don't think anyone knows the real people. I think no one would, even people here would only know little snippets of what they say us. You know what I mean? It's not rehearsed. So yeah, we'll get certain little bits wrong, but I'd rather it be, we've both discussed this, you'd rather it be that way than we're expert of this all the time and this and I'm going over this and it looks like scripted. Like, so fuck, everyone makes mistakes, everyone gets things wrong. But it's a sense of like, I don't know how you look at it in the sense of the way that the fights have went with experience. I think it could go one or two ways. He gets to the point where his brain IQ helps him out, his boxing IQ helps him out in there, or his cardio lets him down.
Yeah.
And he just defensively can't just keep away from
with it.
certain shots. Because that's what lets a lot of people down, and I think a lot of people don't realise, like going back to the leg kicks earlier on, when you first get a leg kick as a martial artist, you're like, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? It's the same thing. I don't think people realise, people slay people on the telly and they're shy looking at them, this, that, you know, you're 6 rounds deep. One, you've turned the fight and you've seen the highlight of it, and you're 6 rounds deep. Like, it's one of the hardest things in any combat sport. Even grappling, when you first start grappling, your forearms blow up, your hands just completely lock, because it's like riding a jet ski again or a motorbike. It's different muscle groups you're using. You're holding a choke on someone, you're trying to like force it up. Even this for a while, they let certain people let you burn your arms out.
I'll be drilling Aaron's class that I always get cramp on left calf.
Of course, but then you know yourself, you're not as sharp in the 4th and 6th and 8th round as you were in the 1st and 2nd, because your arms get tired, you get lactic acid filled up, and like, people really underestimate how powerful that is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but like, that's what I think is going to happen quick with Tyson. Only because of age. He's not like this long distance runner. Even so, like, he's not a triathlete. Do you know what I mean? He's like, and don't get us wrong, he knows how to manage his energy over them rounds. But it's like, how efficient are you at it? How efficient are you at managing that energy in the first few rounds?
Physical capability. I think that's
and the reaction time to cover up as well as being. Don't get us wrong. I think if they exchanged within the first round, a handful of exchanges meet in the pocket, Tyson's probably got the edge.
I think it'd be stupid to exchange within
in the first few.
I think you should keep it long.
I'm not saying don't. And if this fight happens, when this fight happens, and if they go out there in the first round, and Jake just
cracks something,
bites. Jake always reminds me though of some bitch who bites them on the gum shield, shuts his eyes and hopes for the best. You know,
that's what he does right hand, but he seems to find a home with it.
But he fights a home with it, you know what I'm saying? But like, if he does that with Mike Tyson, then yeah, great, okay, have the balls to run up. Also, you're a piece of shit, you just knocked out a 50-year-old man. You should go in there, crack him, put 70% on it, feel what he's going to come back with, crack him a few more times, move around if you're so good of a boxer. Let him outpace himself, because he's only going to have 3 rounds. Let him chase you down, and then for 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, prove how good you are. If you're that good, you know what I'm saying? Why would you want to go in there and fucking knock him out anyway? Imagine if you're in there staring across at Mike Tyson, see you're 6'2", you're Jake Paul's then, you're not as good of a boxer as you are, this, that, and that. You go in there and you think, yeah, fuck, now he hasn't knocked us out in round 3, and I can see how tired he is, and I know I'm going to win this shit. Imagine being in that position. It would be ideal to be like, oh, nice one, at least now I can live a lifelong dream, be like, oh, nice one, I'm going to give him a cut at the end of this. Give him fight him inside a little bit. Yeah, you're taking a risk, but you're getting paid enough to take that risk anyway, and you're going to win the fight more than likely if he's good as he says. So it's like, I think that's what personally should happen. It would be nice to see. I just can't see it happening, like.
Nah, I don't think so either. I think not that I don't think Jake would be capable of doing that, not that I don't think even as a person, because I don't think he's a bad person, funny enough. I think he's probably quite a decent lad in a way.
Everyone's nice, mate, you know what I mean? Good psyche,
to a degree, I think, I just think his ego will want the Mike Tyson TKO or KO on his box record, you know?
But even if he goes out there, and that sounds contradictory, but if he goes out there and knocks Mike Tyson out, you haven't knocked Mike Tyson out, you've knocked an old man out.
Twice his age, you know.
Not an old man in terms of boxing.
I think it's a lose-lose anyway. Like, if
you see, didn't he just fight Vito Belfort a few years ago?
Who?
One of the boxers. It was not.
On the Thriller card.
Yeah. It's one of the famous ones. Was it Holyfield?
Yes.
Was Evander Holyfield?
Yeah.
Evander Holyfield, who beat Mike Tyson after he come into prison, and he was still 70% of Mike Tyson.
Holyfield's the second best cruiserweight of all time as well.
Yeah, unbelievable boxer. I mean, he was full, as most of them were, full of gear. But he was unbelievable. Like, he had a chin, he could crack, he was explosive, he was athletic, ridiculously skillful, you know. And he went in there with Vito Belfort, who was known to be obviously full of TRT again, absolute cheater.
He looked in sick shape, Belfort, for a
47-year-old man.
He was in the UFC. But he went out and he wasn't a boxer that Jake Paul is.
No.
Vito Belfort.
No, he's not.
He's a good striker. There's difference between a fucking striker and a boxer. And they both boxing, and he absolutely murdered Holyfield.
And Holyfield was old, but he was a little bit younger than Tyson.
That's what I'm saying.
now, like
Now,
Tyson.
yes, he didn't probably apply himself the way Tyson has. He
Ah,
definitely didn't apply
No,
himself
no.
the way Tyson did. But at the same, I think at that point, especially when you're talking about this sport, it doesn't really matter to an extent how much you're going to apply yourself when you're 58.
Yeah, aye.
It's going to get to a point where you might get fit and you might start knocking off seconds on your runs, and seconds on you might be your resting heart rate might be recovering quicker between your rounds. But I really don't think that matters that much to a point when you're going in there with a fight with a 26-year-old man who's bigger, more explosive than you now, faster than you now.
Aye. Longer.
And probably got a better chin than him now as well.
Aye.
As bad as it is to say, like.
Well, it goes, doesn't it?
100%.
If I hit a 70-year-old
100%.
I hit a 30-year-old boot, and there's a massive difference.
Aye, 100% it's going to go.
I'm not saying go and crack and grannies and that and test it, different test it.
Mate, we've got coaches in my gym who are like in the 40s now, and there you can see they're still brilliant coaches, but they're more of a wise tiger now.
Aye.
They've got more knowledge up here where they can teach, and you can see there's flashes of the old self on the
Yeah,
in the 20s and the early 30s and stuff. Yeah, great. I've got probably, I'm 34, I've got what, maybe 2, 3, 4 years left.
Yeah, maybe so.
So it's like, you know what I mean? And that's only because, like, and I did like what Tyson said recently, because it goes more in my favour being 34. That, like, obviously Julius Caesar obviously created the extra months of the year, so they said, so we don't technically know how old we are, because he's put extra months in on us than that.
Right.
So it's 365 days of the year. It made a lot of sense, because I was like, actually, you see people and they do look, everyone knows that people look more youthful at certain ages of the thingy. Maybe you don't age as quick. So
Right.
maybe like that guy who's changed his blood type and he gave his dad the blood transfusion.
I was watching that last night. I was
youthful. I think he's a bit daft.
Oh,
he's
he's
definitely
mad
not
for
young
it, like.
in his body as he actually thinks. But I can see aspects of that, like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I can definitely see like some parents who are 50 don't look 50, mate.
No,
Like
no.
they look like me missus's parents. Your dad's like, yeah, he looks a bit older now, but when he was 55, he looked 40.
Aye.
My dad, like, he looked 40, like my dad's in his 50s, he looked 40 in his early 40s.
Aye.
And it's like, my mother was like that, and it's like, people know people like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm not thinking, but I don't think I look 34. Do you know what I'm saying? And 34 is not old. I'm not saying it's old. I'm in fighting terms, it's not young anymore either. Do you know what I'm saying? 34 is still a baby in terms of whatever, 50s, 60s, whatever.
I didn't look 24.
No, you look younger.
Aye.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but some people at 24, they look ancient.
Aye. What's
Do you know what I'm
his name who comes in the gym? From your work? It's the same age as me. He gave me his belt the other day. He's got a beard, tall lad. Comes in from very sure. What's his name? It's not Harry, it's the other one. He's used to do taekwondo. What's his name, man?
Used to taekwondo.
Aye.
Oh, Dom.
Aye, Dom's the
What?
same age as me.
Dom's a bit dark hair.
He looks about 50. He does, doesn't he?
He's blonde. That's what I'm saying. He's talented.
Ah,
I know you mean because he's got dark hair.
Aye. He looks about 15 years
Yeah,
old.
well, Vitas is my age.
Aye.
Vitas looks older than me. No
Yeah,
disrespect,
yeah.
Vitas, love you, bro. But like I say, you're a dad. I'm not. Maybe that's why.
Perhaps.
But like I thought Vitas was maybe like 36, 37.
Ah, yeah.
I thought, especially with his strength.
Yeah, he's a strong
He's
bloke.
strongest in the gym by far. I like. You see, obviously that side of things, and it's like you're just not the same as what you past were.
Nah,
You know what I mean? Like, there's no way Jake Paul will be fighting a 24 or a 27-year-old Mike Tyson.
like get his head ripped off.
It wouldn't be sanctioned. It wouldn't be.
Nah,
Just
nah,
now, you
nah,
would laugh it off like Canelo laughed it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I do think them will fight. I think Canelo's gonna, especially if he keeps winning. I always used to say, Canelo will never fight Jake Paul. But honestly, mate, I never thought he'd fight Nate Diaz or this or that, Mike Tyson. It's like, I think he'll wait until Canelo is like 39, 40-ish. And then, because Canelo's 34.
Still got no chance.
So if Jake was, 32 and Canelo's 45 or something. You still think, but if he keeps training, how much bigger he is compared to him. And he would fight him how small he is.
Oh, I know you would
And
fight.
Canelo would fight him based off Canelo like being at that point
Oh,
at his age and like, I want to get another win and I'll give him it now. That could be dangerous.
To be fair, at that point, if he keeps at it, that could easily make them each 100 mil.
If they keep at it, I think Canelo's going to be as good at 40 if he still boxes at age compared to now.
He's not going to be as good.
No way will he be as good.
Is he going to have to be as good as he is? Nah. No way near.
But
Canelo's not as good now as he was 5 years ago.
The size, mate, man. The size. Nate Diaz is a better boxer than Jake Paul, and he absolutely punched Nate's fucking head in.
He's a different type.
I don't think, honestly, bro, like look at Titch with us. No disrespect, Titch, love you, bro. Carl Lord, class, good shout out, one of the nicest lads in the world. We're better boxers than Titch. but he would fucking destroy us on the boxing
You
fight.
just have to tap you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's size matters, and he's a good
does.
boxer. He's good. He's a short boxer at pitch. So like, we don't like that's that thing I was saying before. That level, I don't think it matters much. You know what I mean? I think he would take. I just think the youth's gonna get him, unfortunately. You know, as bad as it is to say, like some people might be buzzing. Some people thinking, I want him to get knocked out, and you know, it's an up and coming time. But I think it'll be a sad moment for the combat's world to see Mike Tyson lying there unconscious with everyone rushing in to make sure he doesn't swallow his tongue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Alright.
And Jake because Jake, like you say, Jake on the ropes.
Yeah.
If he does that, and he jumps out, I just hope someone just gets him, just fucking caves inside of his head with a can. There's a full monster can, just bosh off his head.
You know, if he does
watching Logan getting out, Logan trying to defend him and that, and then just load the UFC, like load the MMA lads and boxers just running, just start bashing him.
Imagine though, if he does knock him out, like you might as well go for it now. Like if you're gonna knock him out anyway, you might as well do all the shit housery and that. Like Steve Austin gets him, he has
you're like egging it on then, though. You get smashed.
Oh, but imagine the publicity. That's all they think about. People want to imagine the reaction out on the internet. And imagine the money that will stem from that. Because then you'll have a million boxers.
You know what I think he's more likely to do? He's more likely to try and do this in a historic picture. You know, like when Ali was standing over Tyson. You can imagine Jake trying to do that and stand over Tyson. Like, and then make it black and white. So he's like standing over like that. I do you know the one where Ali's like that? And watching Jake pull Tyson out with his black shoes sticking up. You know what I mean? He's like, and Jake's like this in the ring. That's what I'm saying.
And it's the face on it.
You would Tyson as well. You'd have to move to like his own island though, mate.
You get a wall of it. You get a
he would. So we'd have it like, and he's like, oh, is this behind us? Like, they say, because obviously he's been trained from being at Disney how to be funny. When he done this Tyson Fury sketch, and he's like, hello there, and he had the tight on his head, and
he's a proper shit house. He is funny. Like he is funny as fuck.
He is funny.
But it's just, like you would see him doing it and that. I think that's the worst part. Like that could be an actual possibility. It's crazy to think.
100%. But like as much as we're talking shit, you know, and it's all obviously subjective opinions. You know, you've got to give it respect that it is elevating the sport to an extent. People think it's not.
More eyes.
But it is more eyes on the sport, and I think like it makes for, especially if boxing's just being bought out and it's at the Saudis.
Well, you've got Riyadh season and put a ton of money into it. It's Turk Al-Sheikh is his name, and he's just a massive boxing fan. And he's sick of not seeing fights, so he's gone.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll give you 30 million. I'll give you 30 million just fight. That's all he's doing. He's probably losing money on most of the
cards. That might get to a point where he stops doing it. That's the only problem with that, isn't it?
But because he's such a big fan, I'm not sure. Because he
but if you're a multi-billionaire, how much is 30 million?
Exactly.
It's like 100,000 million or something, a billion, is it?
And then in terms of showing it as well, DAZN's just bought Queensbury. So Queensbury's going to be shown on DAZN.
Well, Eddie Hearn went to work with Dana for a while, didn't he? He'd done like a week with him or something.
Yeah, it was like
he's obviously picked his brain and went, yeah, we need to change some of the things.
Dana's moving into boxing as well. He's got Callum Walsh, and he's going to start a proper boxing program.
Well, I mean, I just hope boxing gets more like MMA, like what I was saying last podcast, where like, as much as this event might be a bit of a fucking farce with Jake Paul and Tyson, at least like it's going to be quick, exciting. They haven't asked anyone's permission; they've just done it. Tyson's like, I'm asking them for doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? So hopefully it can become more. I know it's not right, but more of a dictatorship. In the sense of you're under our banner, you're fighting him. Not about
slap the money at them, let them fight. You know, it can't be like a democracy of like, oh, well, we need it. You know, this and this. No, that's why boxing is one of the reasons. I had a little bitch fit last podcast about it, saying about like, you know, it's a joke. Just get it done. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, that was 6 years too late. We've never seen that. You know what I mean? We should have seen Mayweather really defend his belt against the lads he defended it against a lot earlier than you've seen it. Like, you should never have seen the Canelo fight when he did. Canelo was a baby. He was 21 or something when he fought him and drained the fuck out of him. Do you know what I'm saying? Canelo couldn't make that weight now. No, never.
Do you know what I mean?
He's at 168 now.
I could make 56 kilo when I was 21. I'd die if I try and make it now.
I swear that was at 147.
It was ridiculous, mate.
Canelo fought 175.
He'd done an absolute number on him. And I thought, oh, he's never getting beaten there, Floyd, after the way he'd done that. But then you look at Canelo, And it wasn't a Canelo give a bad performance, but he got him very, very wet behind the ears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, Canelo learned a lot from that Floyd fight. He
Oh,
took a lot of Floyd's style.
He got the shoulder roll off.
Yeah,
Stepped away.
A lot of his defensive maneuvers and stuff.
But he put it on Cottle after that. The way
Yeah,
that he learned a lot. If you watch the Cottle fight in Canelo, he uses a lot of what Mayweather beat him with.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, that Cottle goes for like the inside uppercut a lot, and Canelo like pulls and then uppercuts him back a lot. You know what I mean? And it's very skilled, like the way it goes. But I just wish we could have just had a time machine in to put Mike Tyson and say, and he walks out with 20 million. There you go, Jay. Didn't expect that. You know what I mean? He's like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Alright, will you fight him still? He walks out and this like Elon Musk's been creating this like SpaceX. He's been making this like Iron Man type shit. Aye, you put it in and Tyson comes out again. It's like he's only going to be like that for like half an hour. So get in then and see what you can do with him, Jay. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden Jake Paul's like everyone's at his funeral. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, because Tyson's no way it would happen like, but it's I think it's a shame when you say like, it's like watching the Tony Ferguson effect. You see these once great people just not letting it go.
I saw something the other thing. They said last time Tony Ferguson won a fight was when Donald Trump was president, and he went, "Oh, Donald Trump's back. Tony Ferguson's Ferguson's 12-0 all this time." I was like,
I watched that off topic of the boxing event, but I watched that Gaethje and Ferguson fight. You know, because I think you're going to mention it. He did punch the youth, the other kind of peak out of Tony. Like
couldn't stop land that right hand.
It should have been stopped, that fight. I mean, it was brilliant to watch, especially in the middle of COVID when there was nothing else going on.
It's just hard as out, Tony.
And then you see the no crowd. You could hear every slap.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, this is, and you could hear it was brilliant. But if that had been any of you, I'd have chucked the towel in the second round, because some of the shots he got hit with.
Right hand was filth. It just wouldn't stop landing, would it?
It was horrendous. Like, I mean, that's if you want to see someone getting brain damage in the middle, that's the one. Like, that's, you got it. Like,
that's bad.
He got punched into bits. Like, I'd love to have seen how long he had concussion after that.
Would have had some headache, wouldn't he? Good for you, ibuprofen after that one.
Aye. But like, but hopefully we don't see that kind of thing on the weekend. Hopefully you just see, like I say, Tyson going out, getting a few shots bounced off him, and Jake making a bit of a display of it. Yeah. Or you see Tyson go out and put a clinic on.
Aye, fingers crossed.
You know what I mean?
Friday 15th.
Friday 15th.
Be there. We will.
Aye, right. Well, I might be watching it like that, like with like one eye. Oh God, you know what I mean? But if it's on Netflix, it's free. You can watch it, I suppose.
Yeah.
So they're doing it like, I never make money on that.
The sponsorships. They're going, oh, we're going to have 700 million people watching this event. Do you want to advert on it? Aye. All right. 5 mil. Yeah. All right. Get
podcast.
30 of them, you know.
Like a million people be watching this podcast live right now, so we'll like charge advertisers.
Aye. If Clito want to sponsor it.
Red Bull. We'll be holding your cans. Free sponsorship.
Aye, get up with. Aye.
Right guys, hopefully, like I say, give you something to stew over for while you're making the tea, driving the car, chilling in the house on the Sunday, watching the podcast, going over the event. Maybe we'll got it all right, maybe we'll got it all wrong. Who knows? Well, we'll know soon.
Yeah,
we'll know soon, won't we? Yeah, but like I say, everyone, have a good night, chill, enjoy life.
Yeah, have a nice one.
Have a good one.
Nobody thinks that a giant is going to fall. I haven't did this in 15, 16 years. I'm not a giant, I'm a beginner.